Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. I'm Billy. Today I'm going to be using a King C Gillette head on a handle, a Yaqi handle that I actually like, with a fresh Lord Platinum blade. And what I have inside here is Arko. I'm going to use my Semogue Pharos C3 horsehair brush, and I'm just going to load it up. I've got, it's after work. It's Wednesday, the 26th of October. And I'm just gonna load up the brush from the mug. There was some warm water in there already that I dumped out. I've got, what have I got? Perasso white pre-shave on. It's been on for a few minutes. Washed my face. Did not take a shower. I mean, just now. I mean, took one this morning, but anyway. Let's see. That's probably loaded up enough. Let's go ahead and do this. So, seems like every video lately I start off saying how busy things are. And that's true. But it's not all just business, not all just work. I'm actually starting to, I'm actually kind of making myself do other things just for relaxation. Because I have a tendency to get obsessed by things, right? And when I get obsessed with anything, everything else that's not that obsession starts to suffer. And I think what I need in my life is balance, right? And if you've seen a couple of recent videos, maybe you've heard me say that shaving, or I should say double-edged shaving with a safety razor, and everything that's associated with it, from, well, maybe not brushes so much because I only have 4, but some people go really all out for the brushes. But in terms of soaps, I have way too many different soaps. And probably a dozen razors, and it's just, this is just it's a hobby that's designed to become an obsession almost. And it's weird because it's just when you think about it, it's really just a grooming activity, but why does it become an obsession? I don't know. It's really hard to say. This is probably the second time I've used this brush in a video. I think last time was with a pretty soft soap. I don't remember exactly what it was. It might have been tallow and steel. Well, anyway, whatever it was, it was a softer soap. Softer than Arko, definitely, right? And I think where this brush really shines is with a harder soap. But it works well with everything. And I think it may have replaced, or it may have displaced my synthetic as my favorite brush. I really do like it a lot. It does a nice job of building lather. Ugh. Okay, whatever. I think that's probably good enough. So, also, if you've been watching recent videos or more recent videos, you know that you might remember that I don't know if it's stress related or what, but my skin seems really fragile lately. And I've been getting a ton of weepers. And it's just been annoying. So, I think I'm going to go back to just, when I started off the channel, I was pretty much only doing 2-pass shaves, maybe 1.5 or 2 passes with touch-ups. I'm going to go back to doing that for a while. I'm going to stick with slightly more or I should say slightly less aggressive blades. The Lord being one of those. I mean, it's sharp, but I also find it to be very smooth. And I'm going to be happy with, I'm going to let myself be happy with just a decent shave as opposed to going for BBSs. You know, who am I trying to impress here? Nobody. Let me get a real towel here. Anyway, start shaving. So the King C Gillette is a pretty mild shaving razor. I actually like it a lot. I just hate the handle that comes with it. So I find this kind of generic Yaqi handle to be far superior to the King C Gillette head. I mean, the King C Gillette handle. I think it's been about 2 days since I last shaved. Maybe a little over. Yeah, that sounds right. Last shave was Monday afternoon. It's Wednesday afternoon now. I've been talking a lot about, you know, how I've been dealing with, you know, depression, anxiety, and all that stuff. And, you know, working to get past it. And, I think a lot of the stuff I'm doing seems to be working pretty well, but it's early days yet, right? This is all going to be sustainable for the long run. We'll see how that works out. But I'm 53. I don't need this to keep happening in my life. Like, right? Well, yeah. I want my life to be less chaotic. Probably one of the things that I haven't mentioned about, you know, reducing the amount of chaos in my life is I'm now trying very hard to maintain a very regular sleep wake cycle. And just trying to make everyday things more orderly. All right, so like my office at home and my office at work, just tidying them up. Like, I don't need all that to be messy and chaotic. I would like it to be calm, cool, and collected, right? And functional. Man, I really like this Arko. So if you haven't tried Arko, you need to try it. Whether it's in a puck or a stick, just be aware that some people really do not like the scent, right? What it smells like to me is just citronella, like a citronella candle, something like that. Some people seem to think it smells like, cleaning supplies, or that it smells artificial. But I think that's because they associate it with cleaning supplies and believe that it's artificial. But this scent, I believe, the Arko scent, is coming from natural citronella oil, right? Which is, like, if you look on the labels, citronella. It's natural. It's super slick. I mean, it's a great soap. It's a great performing soap. And it's really, really cheap. So it's really inexpensive. You got to give it a try if you haven't. It's a tallow-based soap, and it performs very nicely. I mean, it's not loaded with like skin conditioners and other stuff like your more, premium soaps, but it works well. Anyway, what was I saying? Reducing the chaos in my life, and one of those things being maintaining a more regular sleep-wake schedule. So part of that is just making myself go to bed and wake up at regular times every day, or even if I stay up late, waking up at the same time every day. That seems to help me a lot for some reason. It just injects some predictability into my life, and from day to day to day, it just seems to work. It's hard to say exactly why. Well, I have an idea why, and I'll tell you about something here in a minute, and I'll link to a video or two in the description for this video. But another thing. Well, it's really two things. Light and the quality of light that you get. So I used to have pretty bad problems with insomnia. I don't anymore. And the reason I don't, and haven't for weeks now, some of it may just be because my schedule's more regular, but what helped me get the schedule more regular, I think, especially early on, was turning on the feature. So I have Windows, I have Microsoft Windows and an iPhone. And I believe there's similar features on the Mac OS. On Windows, well, it's the feature that basically changes the color temperature of your phone, so it starts to go warmer and warmer towards the late hours of the day. Actually, no, sorry, it doesn't adjust. I believe both of them, whether it's Apple or Windows or Microsoft, basically just at a set time, and you can set the time, the color temperature goes warmer. And I think the idea there is you get rid of the brighter blue shifted spectrum that would be like daylight, and go to a warmer, let's say yellow orange shifted slightly. And I set them both to only like about 25%. Like if you go to 100% on those settings, everything is noticeably like orange, yellow, brown almost, which I can't stand to look at. But just going to 25% on the computer and the phone after, say, I don't know, I think I set them to be around 7:30, starting from 7 or 7:30 p.m. and staying like that until like 7 a.m. And after seeing good results just from doing that on the computer and the phone, I decided to put some smart lighting in my home office. Because, like, what are you going to do? Like, live, you know, if you're doing this, if you're changing these settings on your computer and your phone, why not try doing it with the room, right? So I bought some smart light bulbs. They're like, I believe they're Philips WiZ connected bulbs that can be controlled through Wi-Fi. And I bought the full color version, but there's a version that just can change the white temperature. And I turned on a setting called Circadian Rhythm. Which does something similar to, man, I can't remember what the feature's called on Windows or Mac OS or iOS, but on the smart light bulbs is actually a continuous shift all day long of color temperature and brightness. So in the morning, it's very bright, very daylight orient, color or tones. And by 9 o'clock, it's noticeably a lot warmer, like, old school incandescent lighting. And by like midnight, it's started to dim, and it's almost like candlelight. But I set it to go warmer, and anyway, I think it keeps, by about 1 a.m., I think it's set to like essentially a nightlight setting, which is very warm, very dim, enough to see. And what I'm finding is that if I happen to be on the computer or in the office doing stuff, which I often am, I am really, really freaking tired by like midnight, 12:30. And I go to bed and I fall asleep. Like, I don't know if it's instantly, but I don't think I'm laying there awake for very long. And this is something for me. This is really, that's a really big change for me, because I've been plagued with some form of insomnia for most of my life. And I feel better every morning. It's kind of amazing. And just working with your own natural circadian rhythm like that, actually, there's actually like physiological basis for all this. And I've discovered some videos, podcast stuff. Like, I don't listen to podcasts. Playing audio by itself tends to make me feel, I don't know, I just disconnect from it. I get sleepy. For some reason, it's just, but in a video, I can watch, it's, I don't know, it's just more, it's better for me. Anyway, there is I believe is a neurology professor at Stanford. His name is Andrew Huberman. He's got a podcast. And he talks a lot about, well, at least for the stuff I've seen, it's mainly been focused on working with your body's own hormone and neurotransmitters for like energy, focus, that kind of thing, in general health. So working with your dopamine, adrenaline, cortisol system. I'm no expert, but there's all these different things that can affect how you feel, how well you can focus, how you feel physically, mentally, how to work with this stuff during the day. So for the past week and a half, I've been trying some of the things I've seen, that he's discussed in his videos. And I'll link to either to a video or to, maybe not a full video, maybe I'll just find a clip or something, but where it discusses some of these things. But I think there's something to it. And according to him, now I haven't gone and verified myself, but according to him, there's a lot of very high quality, peer-reviewed medical research that backs up a lot of these ideas, which is good, right? It's not just some, not just some dude on the internet saying stuff. And I get the feeling that a lot of this stuff has been known informally, or in a lot of traditional, folk medicine types, like traditions for a long time, in one way or another. And what modern medical science is adding or bringing to the table is the ability to do double-blind testing and see verifiable results, verifiable and repeatable results, and then optimize it, and maybe figure out other ways to use it, or how to, when you should or shouldn't apply it. Anyway, so right now, the two people on YouTube that are making videos that I'm watching a lot that have been helping me have been Jordan Peterson and Andrew Huberman. I think there's a lot of good info there. Especially if you want to, hey, except for that spot, no blood. That's nice. And you know what? I'm not going to go for a BB. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to overshave today. There's a little bit I could do here, but you know what? Overall, that feels pretty dang good. So let's hit it with the, oh, nice, to put on it, to use the alum and not have stinging. So as much as I was starting to feel like that I liked more aggressive razors and sharper blades and what have you. But this, you know what? This was a good shave for me. And the King C Gillette is a pretty mild razor. And the Lord Platinum is not the sharpest blade out there, but it's pretty sharp and very smooth. And I'm really liking the way this combination worked for me today. And what can I say? Arko, it's a classic. It's a classic for a reason. It's so economical. You could build a really nice, inexpensive double-edged shaving kit around, you know, this stuff, right? It doesn't have to be super expensive. I will say this, the King C Gillette, if you're brand new, it may not be the best razor to start with, although it's not bad. It's pretty mild, but it does take, you know, it does take some skill to use. And part of that skill being how not to apply too much pressure, right? But this is not an expensive brush. I think I got this for 20 bucks Canadian, which is what, 15 US? I could be wrong about that, but I think this is a pretty economical brush and it's really nice. Yeah. So I guess just in terms of, you know, work and life and everything, everything's going pretty good right now. And I'm feeling good about it. And I guess the main thing is that I feel like I'm actually somewhat in control of my life. And when I don't feel in control of my life, there have been times when I have thought, like, oh, God, I hate my brain. Who's in control here, right? Because I always felt like there was my brain, and then there was me. And I would sit there and watch, like, why is my brain doing this or allowing me to do this or driving me in that direction? Almost like I wasn't in control of my own thoughts, which is weird to think about. Because supposedly the brain is, you know, the way I'm looking at things now is the brain is just a muscle. And it makes thought and personality and all kinds of things possible. But it is not thought and personality. It's just the physical organ that allows all that to happen. And if you can take you can, if you are mindful, you can observe or see where your brain is possibly steering you wrong. Part of you will know it. If you can be mindful enough to observe the inner workings of your own thoughts. And then you can possibly detect where things are starting to go wrong or not in a good direction and somehow intervene. Almost like there's multiple versions of you living inside here, or multiple aspects of you living inside here at the same time. And perhaps one of those aspects of you is a complete idiot, but perhaps good for dealing with chaotic situations or having fun or whatever. Perhaps that's the part of you that's in charge. And maybe it holds too much sway over your life. And maybe there's this other part of you that you haven't been listening to for a while that's like more calm, cool, and collected and a little more long-term focused. And it's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't, have another 3 or 4 shots from that bottle of bourbon, right? Maybe you should just stop now and then just enjoy what you've got right now. And then if you need to take another shot later, right, to maintain the feeling you're having right now, then do that. Or it doesn't have to be, it could be, like for me, when I was in the midst of my hiking obsession a few years ago, it's like, maybe you don't need to go hiking every day for 3 hours. Maybe you don't need to, maybe you don't need to put on a 50-pound backpack and go up and down that hill 10 times, right? Maybe this could just become something that you do as opposed to something you feel compelled to do. Yeah. So I started off, I think I mentioned balance. So that is what I want in my life, is not just balance, but intention, right? I don't want my life to be chaotic and undirected anymore. Like, I want good things to happen. I want some spontaneous stuff to happen, and I want to enjoy things, right? I don't want to be, all logic and machine-like. But at the same time, I don't want to have a chaotic, undirected life that eventually leads nowhere. And so, yeah, balance and intention. I think that's where I'm heading, hopefully. Yeah. Anyway, if you've watched this long, thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, if you care to. And, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.